Oh, clapped. All right. That means that we're live. We're broadcasting on the internet and everything. All right. So I was going to do this stream normally, and then Fizz happened to be around. And rather than having to stop one stream, do another, try to do this, I'm just combining them. I realize that might not be everybody's cup of tea. It's okay. Speaking of tea, I need to go get my coffee. So let's uh let's conjecture ahead, shall we?
Although this is going to be weird, and it's going to be about a different.
Title of the conference was something like Ground Truth or Turtles All the Way Down. And so it seems as though there's one ruliad. I don't think it rules them all. And it might be just hyper turtles all the way down.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyperrural turtles.
Various people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Now that we're partially caffeinated, we can begin. All right, so what is the topic for today's little talk, our little jaunt into scientific stuff and things? All right, so we're going to be talking about maybe some hyperspheres, or basically me just kind of working out with you all what are watching now and temporally in the future. What might our realm look like? I'm not saying this is the way it is because nobody knows the way it is. I mean, maybe okay. I ain't no god or prophet. I'm a dude on the internet. I'm gonna speculate. We're gonna be doing some conjecturing and stuff, and we're gonna kind of break down and see if we can't explain some of our observed phenomena. Because isn't that what science is? The quest to be less wrong. Why? Because we know we're wrong, and if we're wrong, we seek to be less wrong. AKA something motto of the US, more perfect, which we could probably translate into less wrong in this regard. Okay, so let's see where we can start. Where should we start? All right, so what the heck is a hypersphere? All right, let's start from a simple point. Some people might say a simplex. You got a point. It's supposed to be an infinitesimal. Like you're supposed to be able to shrink this down. That's essentially zero dimensional. Why? Where's their concept of dimension? Okay, now I'm not a topologist. I am not a geometer by trade. I'm sure I made somebody angry. That's okay. We're going to do, some may say, a thought experiment, and we're going to try to maintain logic. Okay, so zero dimensional. What's one dimensional? A line. A line. We got we can go this way. To be fair, you might be able to go back, but that's one dimensional. What happens if we close it? Close it, we could do like a triangle or something. There, now we have two dimensions. Why? It should have a front, should have a back. We should be able to flip it, so to speak, assuming that there was a surface there. Okay. So how are we going to? All right. The reason why I do a triangle is one, it's also the simplest thing to connect, and two, also this is called, I think, like a zero-dimensional simplex. This is, I could be getting that all wrong. It's basically triangles in n number of dimensions. That's why, like, the 5 cell is technically the 4-dimensional tetrahedron because it's okay. Trust somebody. Go to Math Stack Exchange. That's where I would recommend, or just check Wikipedia or Math World. Okay. So, but we're going to be talking about spheres, you say. Spheres, circular type things. All right. We got a point. Let's go up to another dimension. Oh, we got a. I had a marker in my pocket because I knew it was a better marker. And then I still grabbed the broken one. The one that's almost, all right. I got a point. All right. We got a circle. And we got to go up from a circle. We got a sphere. So what do we need? We need some notion of sphereness. I know. That's a terrible circle on the inside, but we're trying to have a concept of what 3 dimensions might be. So as far as I can tell, it's this, and that. Okay. And then you could, if you're going to have an axis coming out of yourself, you have a whole X, Y, Z axis, our whole little, oh, okay, we got a Cartesian plane. All right, let's put another axis in there. Why? We should probably we're going to do that. We might want to do this with that. Kinda help our mind. All right, so we got this cross point, but we're kind of going this way there. All right, I can kind of conceptualize that because that appears to be the world in which we live. Is that correct? I don't know. People would disagree about that, but it seems pretty real to me. But we know it is more complex than that. Why? Well, apparently within the realm of quantum theory and stuff, we have our good old friend or the nemesis of some folks, the square root of -1. What is that? That equals the number I. Yes, and this is probably one of the reasons why a lot of people get mad at mathematicians, because they use certain words that have particular definitions within mathematics that confuse folks. Why? It's the number I. It's like, what are you talking about? I is a letter. Yes, it is. But within our notation and everything, well, that's what it is. Why? Because now it's also shorter, and rather than having to do this, it's like, all right, so -1 in brackets there, and then we raise it to 1 half. All right. That's the same thing. We're taking 1/2. We're taking the squared, that's 2, this way, the square root of -1. And that equals I. Boom. As I'm frantically scratching against the whiteboard there, trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. So things are probably more complex. That was more of a pun on words, but I happen to have a chance to. Okay, this is our first real tangent here, or maybe it's an imaginary tangent. I don't know. I was on SEMF. That's the nonprofit set up by Carlos Zapata from the Wolfram Institute and Team Wolfram there, and we got a chance to go up there and just kind of discuss how different disciplines, they'll use some words, and then some words, depending upon the discipline, it means a whole different thing. So people will get confused if they're not familiar with a particular lexicon or our standard like notation that we're using and everything. So, and a lot of times people get confused and then their mind starts to hurt. And as soon as your mind starts to hurt, people just tune out and they're like, that's beyond me and everything. See, for me, I'm not smart enough to necessarily do that. That happens sometimes. But then sometimes I'm just doing something. I don't have time to change the channel that I'm listening to. And I'll just keep on listening to it. Eventually, I'm like, wait a second, there's something in there that maybe it resonates with me a bit. Maybe it kind of just gets me going there, gets me to go on a rant or something like this. All right, let's see. Oh, yes, we're also here for friends in the chat. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Oh, we got an eclectic crew. Oh, yes, Hex. Yes, it's good to know you can see my point there. I see what you did. There's nothing to sphere. Well, a sphere or a ball, because a ball it's basically just the outer layer, and that's where topology comes in. And interesting, we're going to get into that. Depending upon one's perspective, hypersphere is actually a little bit different, and I'll get into that. Let me just finish going through. Tommy and the guinea pig collective. Guinea pigs may be able to do math, or at least they can leave lots of little tracks and be nice and fluffy and everything. It's see, Grim, if you're gonna square yourself and get -1, I may or may not resemble that remark. I think Toho did that with Godzilla. Is that how they got to -1? They took the square root of Godzilla and they got -1. I don't know. I'm a kaiju fan, but yes. We got a lot of different folks from all over. Yes, Eiley is the loneliest letter. It might be, but it always has I self, right? Or maybe it would. Okay. Before I forget, let's get into the little difference thing. And I'm sure people have noticed this and nobody else has gotten confused about anything before in the history of reality. So we're going to go to our friend over here. Hypersphere. God, I type hyper a lot. I mean, who would have thought it? God, this guy's just rambling on for hours and hours about nothing. Well, apparently they made a show about nothing, and it was something to a lot of folks. So I like irony like that. Let's see, where is it? Oh God, I should have specified. All right, Math World. Yes, we're going down to Math World. We're going down to Math Town. All right, don't worry, we'll skip through it. Where do they go? Geometry. I think it's topologists. This one top. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's some of like the little deep lore. Again, it's don't worry too much about the notation. Just this little comment here. Unfortunately, geometers and topologists adopt incompatible conventions for the meaning of n sphere. Basically, however many dimensions that a spherical form would be in. Okay. With geometers referring to the number of coordinates in the underlying space. Thus, a two-dimensional sphere is a circle. And they give a Coxeter reference, and topologists refer to the dimensions of the surface itself. So basically, when a topologist is talking about, I believe it's the three sphere. Oh, no, geometers do it that way, because if it's talking about the three sphere, the dimension of it's always a sub one dimension. So if you're talking about like a three sphere, you're actually talking about a hypersphere. It's basically, it would appear as that, but it's actually one dimension higher. I think that's how it is. I'm sure I scared a bunch of folks away. Okay, blah 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 blah. Topologists call two sphere to denote S2. Extreme caution is therefore advised when consulting the literature. Following the literature, both conventions are used in this work, depending on context, which is stated explicitly wherever it might be ambiguous. Basically, there's a calculation to do the four-dimensional sphere, and it actually differs very slightly from the standard one. Do they give it here? Hold on, n sphere, n sphere, boom. Blah blah blah. Unit sphere, probably that guy. Unit circle. Okay, that's just two dimensions. Maybe I just need. Do I need the dash? Does the dash make a difference? It probably makes a difference. That little hyphen. Inversion sphere? Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Versions of a sphere. Cylinders are versions of a sphere of tori. The center of a vision. Vision rays with dual polyhedra beaks and inversion spheres are usually called the mid. I know the inversion of a torus is a hypersphere. That came from John Williamson. God rest his soul. All right. So, okay, that's cool. That's just a little side note there. Oh, hey, K-Shell. Good to see. Tommy's saying that apparently his internet runs at negative numbers sometimes. I think we all resemble that once in a while, Tommy. It's like you're going along, you're fine, and all of a sudden, everyone stops moving. And you're like, is it me? Did I just stop moving? Or is it the reference that everyone else stops moving? I don't know. It's latency. You can learn a lot. I mean, apparently. Oh, hey, Rick. Good to see you, my friend. Basically, we have enough trouble with time zones and everything like that. Daylight saving time. People lose their minds. They're asking, "Why do we do this? Why do we do that? Why is it still a thing?" I think that. Yeah, why is it still a thing? Now, not to get political, but I think that's something most members of Congress probably agree on, which is why it probably won't happen. That's totally an opinion there. That's totally an opinion. It's like, well, we can't bring this up for serious discussion. Somebody blocked it for whatever reason. I'm sure they had their reasons. Okay. So we're going over some sphere. Oh, it kind of looks like a snowman with like a shrunken head there. All right. So we won't dwell on that. Let's see where we may dwell. Okay. Now, where we may dwell, well, actually, rather than going through all this, and terrifying people and messing things up as I'm drawing on the board. I think I actually have a picture to share. So we can do that. I think he's got you over. God, I really need to organize things rather than just update last opened, created. Did I actually label it? Oh my God, I labeled it. All right, here we go. So let's just jump into this. And again, I am open to comments. I'm just taking the most rudimentary look at this as we can. All right, so share this window, ECC, that we colloquially refer to. Let's make this a little bigger. Let's make myself a little smaller. Okay, that didn't really help. Okay, did it? Yeah, we want to see the whole thing. Okay. All right, we'll do it this way. I'll just embiggen it. Oh God, that's okay. I'm seeing how it's re-ratioing here. Okay, this is what I call the eternal cyclic cosmology. I presented this at the first ever Demystify SciCon that was down in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Shiloh and Anastasia, who also put me, Casey, and his dog up for the night and managed to put up with us and feed us. So thank you very much for that. When I say present, I didn't really present. I maybe talked about it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the actual conference. It was mostly the night before you get to the hotel. Oh, wait, I know some of you guys. I know some of you guys. It's like, oh, I got a poster. I got a poster. So we're all rolling out our posters. We're going over some different ideas. It was fun. It was fun. It was like going to a Comic-Con, except for science and stuff. And did I agree with what everyone else was saying? No, but you get exposed to ideas and you refine things. Okay. Now that I bloviated on the standard scientific drama and everything, oh, Snacks? I don't think Snacks is here. Snacks may be listening though. I think he's working right now. Oh, hey, Mark. I wasn't sure to whom you may be discussing or referring. I think that's the proper use of it. Whom? I had to look that up the other day. All right, so eternal cyclic cosmology, number one. This is not to scale. I mean, perhaps that's an obvious thing here. All right, but what's the whole claim? The whole claim is, all right, we're existing in some hypersphere, the n hypersphere of maximal volume. That's how that is generally referred to it. So whatever dimension that we're living in here, we're thinking it's 5 dimensions that's expressed as an expression of a 4-dimensional hypersphere. Why is that? That's a very interesting question. All I know is from all the constants of nature, even though they can be built with 5-dimensional ingredients, there's never more than 4 dimensions expressed at any one time. Why might that be? That's a fantastic question. I'm open to ideas. Maybe something orthogonality, yada, 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 which infers 4, which I can remember because I played box ball as a kid. Yes, that thing where you're supposed to take the basketball, hit it into the other person's square, and they try to either catch it or do this thing. Oh my God, I forgot how to play box ball. This is very sad. That was one of the great games as a kid. I digress. All right. So the claim is we live in a spherical form of a place. What? Well, most of the models go by that. If you see a single drop of water, it's kind of taking a spherical form. Because what is it? I know Rick knows. Because a circle, what is it? It maximizes area, and then a sphere minimizes volume. It's some weird relation like that. But sphere, we like it because it seems to work. And if we're going to assume any type of going along with our standard model here, if we're going to think that there's some cosmic kablooey, a big bang, or something like that to lead to where we are, maybe. I mean, that's a generalized. Many people think that. Is that what actually happened? I don't know. I wasn't there. But what we're saying here is, all right, the general thought is we're constantly expanding. Now, I can believe that maybe we're still expanding. My main difference with a lot of the standard model is I know there's going to be a very stunning and brave claim here that the age of where we live in our realm of persistence, or what we colloquially refer to as universe, is greater than 14 billion years. I know. It might be completely off, but baby, but we rewind GR, we get to this. It's like some people call things bubble universes and stuff. I can believe that our local area and stuff maybe came into a lot of it maybe came into being about 14 or something billion years ago. But I think the entire system, if it is finite, and I know a lot of people might disagree with that. I know some folks believe that, and there seem to be more and more folks talking about that, which it's good to hear new ideas. Doesn't mean that they're right, but if you can have a simpler explanation to a lot of observed things, and you only have to introduce a minimal amount of new things and explains a lot more, isn't that supposed to be like within, what's it, like consumer finance or whatever, in economics, it's supposed to be value. It's like, all right, quality divided by price is value. That might be very high quality. If the price is ginormous, probably doesn't have that great value. If it's very high quality and it's a very reasonable price that might actually be surprising, maybe it has high value. So that's the claim, or at least what we're trying to model here. Can we explain the maximal amount with minimal new introductions, and could it potentially explain a lot of other things that we're confused about? Okay, so the whole claim is we're living in what I would claim is a 4-dimensional hypersphere within 4-dimensional space. Why? Because we have 3 dimensions of space, 1 dimension of time. All right, and then you just vary them so one coordinate is negative, and then the others are positive, or one is positive, and then the others are negative, and you're putting it all in a root there. And that was going to go over it the other day, because I'm just like, how does this work again? I see the notation. I'm kind of like, does this really make sense? And it's like, it seems to work pretty well, or has done a lot of stuff for humanity. So, oh yes, of course, Snacks is working. It's good to see you, my friend. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, but it was good to see you and Punkwaddle and crew. It doesn't like some puppets, especially when they're not being mean and preachy. That's a personal opinion there. All right, so the whole claim is, all right, we live in some space that appears as what we know. Okay, I'm going to claim that there's a limit. There is a limit. What is the limit? Well, as we went over before, let's do a quick. Oh, a wild Fyzz appears.
Ow!
How long have you been down there?
A while.
Well, oh look, we got Lug too. I was busy just yelling at people on the internet about hyperspheres and stuff. So
Hyperspheres are way more fun than not hyperspheres.
I mean, I would tend to agree there. They make the mind wobble. I swear there are tasty snacks somewhere. So, Fyzz, what have you been up to?
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
We're breaking all types of rules today, everybody.
And Hex says, "Big Crunch." We're just all sorts of tasty over here.
Oh, the Big Crunch.
The Big Crunch sounds awesome. That sounds pretty tasty.
I mean, they did that, right? Didn't Nestle make like the Big Crunch? It was like the Nestle Crunch, but it was supposed to be like extra thick. I think they labeled it as the Big Crunch. Or are they stealing from cosmologists? I cannot say.
Extra thick.
Extra thick chocolate, yes, but okay.
I seen your message while I was eating, and I just took a bite of pizza that tastes the way feet smell. So I'm not feeling so great now.
I w- okay.
I mean,
I
it's a
mean, I'm not.
random bite of pizza. I think it's this one specific pepperoni, man. Just taste the way feet smell. I'm not
Well,
happy.
okay. To be fair, I was gonna say when you're describing pizza and feet, the only way I could really make that connection is something about a funky smelling pepperoni.
Yep. Yep.
That's the closest thing. Because
I,
occasionally, not that I've smelled my own feet, yes, but occasionally, I'm like, is that pepperoni or something? Is that why the cats like to smell feet or armpits and stuff? I don't know.
mhm.
There, according according to Rick, there are tasty flagellate snake eels in the Triangulum Galaxy.
Snack.
Well, I
Ooh.
haven't been to the Triangulum Galaxy for sushi at all, so I mean I can't confirm that. Oh yeah, and we also do have smelly exotic cheeses. Those do absolutely happen.
Oh, dude, some of my favorite stacks, I am aware, do stink. At least to other people. They
Like cheese
usually
pudding.
involve squid.
Oh, wait, are you a fish sauce person?
Put a little bit to make a soup base, maybe, but not like a hardcore.
Okay.
No, one of my favorite snacks is uh tempura squid chips that are cheese flavored. So just imagine cheese squid. Those two smells together. It's probably the stinkiest snack I have ever enjoyed, but god damn, is it tasty!
I'll lug is singing your praises.
Ah, you look.
Oh no. Oh, we had a nervous snacks. Snacks, I know snacks has been in the pizza industry and everything. And yeah, you don't want hot cheese falling on those feet. That's yes. Oh no, yes, we're breaking all the rules because rather than doing this stream that I started doing on a frequent and regular basis, and then cutting it off at like exactly an hour, and then quickly, like I normally do, make the thing. I just create it as the normal thing and threw Fizz there and be like, memes said there would be snacks. And we all know that memes would never lie about tasty snacks.
It wouldn't be the first time.
That's what I meant. That's those are accurate words in, in what we're talking about right here. So Fizz, what
What is it?
what do you
Uh,
what do you know about hyperspheres?
breaking the monastery life. Is that what we're doing?
Basically, yeah. That's
Well, consider it broken because now I'm here, so you ain't gonna be able to explain shit anymore.
no. You've actually helped me. Actually, let's go to
No, I
our
seen your
other.
picture. It looked like you were taking the celestial realm and shoving it into a tube or something.
Basically,
It's a
I
tube
mean,
that then you looks like you're trying to insert into a donut.
uh,
Ah,
wow,
this
that's
monastery meme
actually
said
very
there'd be
correct.
snacks.
Uh, I, I mean, I literally just took the generic thing that I just keep modifying, like 3, 4, yada yada, and I'm like, all right, let's just take my generic thing of Fizz, and it's like, why would Fizz be here for science? We obviously have to bait and switch her. We have to trick her somehow. God, I still remember the lollipop pass. That was.
Oh.
I didn't
I
even
thought there'd
understand
be
what I was
candy and
saying,
there was
so.
math. That was like one of the like top 10 anime betrayals right there,
I
man.
know. Wow. I know. It was so bad because here's the thing. I got very excited about something. As I'm trying to explain, I realize I do not understand the words coming out of my own mouth. So if I don't understand the words coming out of my mouth, and I was actually here for it, I can't really expect anyone else to understand the words coming out of my mouth. So
That was so evil.
I know I didn't mean it to be evil. It just happened that way. It's computationally irreducible, we'll say. Hex is commenting, what does neutron star matter taste like? Fizz, have you sampled any neutron nuclear pasta?
Oh, no. I was told I'm not allowed to.
Oh, wait, not allowed to? You're not allowed to
Yeah,
eat stars?
nope.
Did they come
Apparently,
by
they're
you?
like too important and stuff.
Oh, wait a second. Why would they tell you no unless you would want to keep doing it? Wait a second.
Mm.
Do we have plausible claim for neutron stars being the tastiest thing in the universe? Now, I'm not sure for humans, maybe for celestial beasts, but I feel like any meat bag like me that gets too close, we're immediately going to be ripped to shreds and get spaghettified. I don't know. Is that why neutron stars are so tasty and they make nuclear pasta because any observer that comes by them is literally going to get turned into spaghetti? Not quite spaghetti, just meat spaghetti, which I don't know. Is that better
That
or
sounds
worse?
even better.
Okay, I changed my mind. Neutron stars are totally not the tastiest thing in the universe because now I'm thinking Fizz is on a mission to toss us all into neutron stars to eat us.
I mean, I guess that's why I'm not allowed to taste him.
I said some roles are important. Pasta stars get spaghettified. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I guess, yes. One's tongue would get pretty heavy. Yeah, yes, it's common.
Oh yeah, in my current form, I wouldn't be able to taste it anyway. That would be bad.
I know, it's hard to do it in 2 dimensions.
Mm,
Yeah. Well, we're both in the same boat, at least in this format here.
yeah.
I'm not fixing that. That's you.
Oh, great. Oh, yes. People, it's okay. It's okay.
Go
Go do your thing. It's all right. No wolf goes around to making this
I'm broken.
broadcast.
He broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys! I just want to hug some gold!
I'm going to hell.
Did you know some ghosts taste like sulfur? It was gross because that means they taste like rotten eggs.
Wait, ghosts taste like farts?
Some.
I mean, listen. I am not an ectologist or anything like that. I'd never considered that, but wait a second. Ghosts might be methane based.
No, rotten egg based.
Oh, wait, what? What based?
Sulfur.
Yeah, like farts.
Farts smell like poop.
But doesn't it have a sulfurish smell?
No, sulfur definitely smells like rotten egg, and not every fart is a rotten egg fart.
That's fair. Okay, so not all farts.
Not all farts are ghosts,
Okay.
but
Or ghosts.
and technically, I don't know if you're tasting the ghost or you're just smelling it, and you get that something stinks so bad you could taste it kind of effect. It might be different for different kind of noses and sensitivities.
For just clarification, within the deep lore of breaking the multiverse, we have also conjectured that rainbows might be 4-dimensional unicorn farts.
Mm.
So this is well within the canon of breaking the multiverse that we're now breaking the monastery. Why? Because I was very lazy and just did a standard generic stream rather than having the two consecutive streams. Like the guy that started the talk had he's part of all these different groups, so he had to start the meeting, broadcast the meeting, and then he had to literally leave, go to another computer, and then go through another meeting. And he left a hoodie with the logo on it and Homer Simpson's head popping out. It was very well played. Where was it? It was hold on. It was the SEMF thingy. SEMF. Interdisciplinary stream. So then we finished. Oh, hold on. This guy. All right. So yes. I think that's
What?
Homer Simpson. It's either Homer Simpson or maybe an octopus.
Looks like an octopus.
I think it might be an octopus. It just initially, without zooming in, I thought it was Homer Simpson just because I saw it was like
Yellow and bald. Yeah.
That looks like an octopus. That looks like a tentacle coming out of the shirt. So Shout out to Carlos for multitasking while he was on that in a Wolfram Institute stream. But yeah, yeah, I think Hex might have it. It might have been a Zoidberg. I think Zoidberg was more orange.
Zoidberg is like a pinkish, orangish coral color.
Oh, because if it was more of a Zoidberg color, it may have just been Admiral Akbar, as Rick is referring. It's a trap. So,
And Rick, I said I want to hunt some ghosts.
oh, yes. She did not want to hug some gold. It was supposed to be hunting ghosts, and it was winter, and every time the word ball from Snowball dropped, Fyzz's Twitch form would get pelted
Every time
by.
balls dropped.
Yeah. She was pelted, but she had like on a 5 or 10 multiplier, so it'd be like 5 or 10 balls every time there was balls said in the chat. So I'm like, yeah, nobody would copy and paste the entire text from "I love big balls, she loves me," and then just have Fizz get continually pelted. I mean, that would be cruel and unusual, and I
I'm
totally.
broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys! You guys! I just want to hunt some gold!
That's one of the happiest things I've ever made.
That broke the stream so much that when I finally got to hunt ghost, random rooms opened up into like the void. The graphics got all screwy. And so the haunted house was even scarier because random rooms would be like, I can just walk in this direction forever. Something, and the door just gets smaller and smaller behind me. This room might be haunted. I don't know. If I die, we'll know.
Well, you always know, because sometimes when you would lag in World of Warcraft, especially if you're in PvP, it's like, I'm hitting this person, I'm targeting them, but they don't exist in this realm.
Yep.
And you could use it to your advantage sometimes. It was usually much better if you were a melee class, because otherwise you'd be casting, and occasionally if you were hidden well, you could snipe people from far enough away, but the game was set up in a very particular way. But yes. So Fizz, what have you been up to?
Mostly playing Yakuza.
Oh, that's right. You're a mob boss now.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not a boss. I guess you gotta start in, well, one of them you can start in middle management. The other one you're kind of starting as like, bottom tier for sure.
Are you in like the crime mail room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, one of them, right? Because you play two characters in this one, and you switch back and forth. And this one, one of them is running a legit real estate business because he left the mob at the beginning of the game. And the other one got kicked out of the mob at the beginning of the game. And he's running cabaret clubs now.
Is he doing well?
Yeah.
Who would have thought it? People want to see a whole bunch of beautiful women dancing. I mean,
not a strip
or
club.
men, or dudes, or lizards, or whatever consenting adult creature there is.
The cabaret club, the girls go and sit with you and hit on you and pretend to be your girlfriend for the time that you're there.
Oh, so it's basically Pornhub in real life.
Only no nudity.
Except, like Pornhub, except less nudity and maybe more expensive.
No porn, definitely more expensive.
Yes, that whole real life. Yeah, the internet can make a lot of things cheaper. For question, going to look for questions about a ghost, consult a ghost writer.
Makes sense to me.
I mean that yes, I think this is like when we were talking about the scientific thing. There'll be words that mean one thing in one context. But if it's not being referred to in that context, it might mean something a lot different. So kind of like I
And that's where terrible puns are born.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, who would have ever thought something like that? As I'm introducing the fact that why would I ever lie to Fizz about snacks? I mean, it's not like something that has a deep history or anything.
From Boston, Massachusetts, within the United States of America, the one, the only, the means of destruction. And guess what, folks? He's not here, which is a damn shame, but his girlfriend's here. Hello, Fizz. How you doing?
Is what now?
Your Moons' girlfriend, right?
No, I can't leave the screen. I guess like his other girlfriend, but...
So how have you been, Fizz?
I'm great, because I heard that you have tasty snacks.
Well, that's the first I've heard of it. I mean, the last time we had tasty snacks, Fizz, was when Fat Steven gobbled them all up. So
my local dojo is a Wendy's.
We can't have any more.
Oh, Memes ruined it. He ruined the snacks. Memes tricked me. He told me to come here because I would get snacks. This is a waste. Hold on. We're gonna get him freaking Memes with his freaking imaginary internet girlfriends.
I don't know. This has never happened before on Reality Based. When we have a guest, folks, we expect them to be on the show. We don't expect their girlfriends to come on. I mean, really?
I don't have a boyfriend.
Yes, you do. It's Memes. You're on his show.
I'm his co-host.
Yeah, and? Oh, there he is. What's Memes doing in the chat and not on the show?
I said Beetlejuice 3 times, but I can't remember if I'm supposed to be looking into one mirror.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys this, and hopefully it means something to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's children.
I stopped the clip. We managed to loop all the way back around. Oh God, I'm so pixelated. At least over there. All right. I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying I just played that for a short potty break. Yada. Yes, and to grab a root beer. Yes, my intentions are as Fizz is in a moment of zen. And then the eye twitch.
I can't zen for very long, man, because this freaking realm makes my eyes twitch.
It's okay. Some people call it allergies. Some folks just say pollution, or
I call it stress.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of people stressing out in the realm, but memories like the corners of our mind. You're making me want to play another clip. Fizz entertained the chat for approximately 30 seconds. I need to go find something else.
Oh, okay. The funny desktop background that I have, with all the poop and the toilets and stuff, on there. It says "Danks for the memories," and that makes me laugh. Anyways, so the tube going in the donut, yeah, that's cool.
But before the tube and the donut, we're gonna do this for memories.
Still I venture
Fucking
someplace
mean.
scary. I turn loose.
Consistency is key.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Have I come to the right place?
Of like, what the fuck just happened, you know?
Well, obviously he was going to get this debaucherance.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off there, Mary.
There's
the
a
chat's-
point.
Me that
Okay, that was
do
smooth.
well in the greater Pornhub community. Oh dear.
The memes of destruction are here?
Memes of destruction.
I know that.
Fuck right off. This is bullshit. I'm not a furry, people. So I have to feel like the fucking cat from Cats.
Hell, Rise of the Furdom Menace.
You can pants if you want to.
You can leave your pants behind.
Because friends don't pants, and if they don't pants.
Well, there are no pants of mine.
I am running for president of this internet of stuff and things.
What is
Or
that?
Jaffa.
Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa cakes.
So, do think that it opens pretty dangerous territory.
All old and decrepit singing memories every time I come into contact with him.
We want to thank the memes of destruction for what? The memes of destruction?
The memes of
destruction.
Mimes of destruction.
Mimes of destruction.
The memes of destruction. I know.
Oh no, that guy!
Alone in the moonlight.
What is wrong with you?
Many things. I ruin everything.
Oh god, Ozzy, what were you thinking? Christ.
Hey.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, it's chocolate glaze. Them fuckers look good. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's better than bad, it's good.
What the fuck is going on here?
I think we're gonna stop.
I do like that it ends with that. I think we're gonna stop.
So it's a very simple thing. If it ever comes to the point where the eye of Sauron is upon me, and people are like, who is the memes of destruction? Hopefully something like that would come up, and we can easily answer all your questions and create a heck of a lot more.
Mostly create more because there's a bunch of people very confused going, Mobs of Destruction! Who that?
I was just showing you. I get around. It's like
He gets around.
I try to add in a lot of symmetry from different folks, different communities, and everything.
Strokes,
we had a clip in there from Jay before I assaulted him at Fan Expo and everything. Yes,
Man, you even had. Oh my God, you even had that one guy.
Oh, the glasses.
The creepy guy.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah, the do not tell about fudge guy. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that part. I think I know who you're talking about here. My deep lore is
Edwin. There we go. Edwin.
Yes,
Think,
I know.
yeah. He's the do not tell about fudge.
I know. Edwin is the known where I met Testify.
Yeah.
And
within
within 5
God.
minutes, I realized exactly who Testify was. I'm like, well, it's a troll that's using the angry bird that literally smashes right through your houses. I'm like, okay, I understand that. I don't agree with all the things that were done, but I understand it. So it's, hey, maybe at peace. It's.
He was funny when he felt like being funny, but then like he would get way too involved. Yeah.
It was the amount of terror. That's one.
I mean, he didn't do
troll on
nothing
the
to me,
internet
but like Piper thought he was funny for a little bit until it stopped being funny after a while.
The general thing is, my observation was people loved it when he was making fun of people that they weren't fans of, until he would start making fun of them, and then they were no longer fans.
No, Viper thought he was funny as long as he stuck to making fun of people, because he made fun of her while she would still laugh and stuff. It was when he started to actively like try to start fights between people and stuff. When he went beyond making fun of people.
So kind of like when I got you and Bath Matt to get into a conflict.
Yeah, he would do stuff like that, only on a much more like a shittier level, like a too far of a level.
Yeah. It's as far as trolling, in my opinion, there's a line.
Yeah.
I crossed that line. I acknowledge that I crossed that line. That's why I'm also usually pretty quick to apologize, because I realize that I step on so many metaphorical and mimetic landmines all the time. So, yes. Cylinder donut thingy.
Yeah. He's putting like stars and
Worst.
galaxies up in there and shit. All right.
Yeah. Worst transition ever.
Looks like perhaps we were going about it wrong and needed both the hooves and the mouth.
You want to include all the components of a system. It's
oops.
All right, so the whole thing
I
is,
love that it says not to scale up there. Like that's my favorite part.
Yes. Not to scale. I felt that was important to be in fairly large text, just because it's. Listen, there's a whole lot of folks. It's like people be out there with rulers and their compass and everything. It's okay. So the whole claim is, many people think, it's generalized. Is it the consensus? Probably, mostly, and stuff. All
You
right,
could at
you
least
get a
say
big.
along the lines of.
That's a good one. Along the lines of, because there's actually lines and stuff. Thank you, Fyzz.
Yeah.
So, supposing there was a cosmic kablooey, Big Bang, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, that show sucks, though. Just so y'all know. Don't watch it.
Like that show. Young Sheldon was actually fun. They actually taught.
I didn't watch Young Sheldon, but I tried to watch Big Bang Theory a whole lot, and it was just like
You can't watch it a whole lot. No. See, that's the thing. You overdosed. It's kind of like if you eat too much con candy. Like if you eat some con candy, it's freaking delicious.
Yeah.
When you eat the entire cart worth of con candy, go.
It's extra delicious.
Okay. For us meat bags that don't have celestial digestion, you end up being in so much pain because all of a sudden it's like body was not designed for that much.
I'm in the I'm 2D version of the mortal realm, but I'm in the mortal realm right now, so I have the same stomach.
In 3 dimensions?
Yes, I just look 2D. That's the lore.
Me too. Okay. It's yes, very, very, very thin, very thin. Yes,
yeah, you look 2D on the screen as well. So
yeah, and so I resemble that remark.
Yeah. So I got the same digestion, but it turns into basically nothingness once you eat it. So shouldn't you be able to eat like pretty much as you could drink something?
It's like fluffy soda though, because soda's full of sugar.
Yeah.
So if you just have fluffy sugar, you're still eating the sugar, but you don't realize how much you're eating. Like if you eat a whole bunch of ramen, you ate a whole bunch of ramen.
Yeah,
kind of fill
that's
you up.
how I learned there's such thing as too much pie, is because it takes up space.
Yeah. The physics of digestion. Physics. Yes. Wait a second.
That's how I should spell it forever from now on.
Wait.
I think we've done that, haven't we? Physics.
Okay. Yes, we have. Now, when you say too much pie, do you actually mean cheesecake?
Yeah. Pie.
Now, here's the thing. I've been over this with some people. Why do they lie to us about cheesecake and carrot cake? Because at least as a kid, I'm like, I actually make a cake out of cheese. That seems like a terrible idea. Or it's like, wait, a cake out of carrots? That's not cakes. That's just vegetables. And then as an adult, you realize, oh my God, we were so deceived. It's deliciousness.
Yeah. I don't know why they do. That's a you humans thing. I don't know why y'all do what you do. Most of the time, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but especially with labeling things weird like that.
It's like soda in gas, not liquid. Whoa. 4 is too much. 4 is too much pie. Yeah. Well, it may depend on your system of units.
True.
Yeah, if I'm gonna do 4 pie, yeah, that's the whole thing. If I eat the whole pie, yeah, it's probably gonna be a bad day. A little bit here and that. That's why like gelato is good because it's got kind of like the heaviness of ice cream, but the lightness of cotton candy. And they usually serve it in small things, and that's all you need because you might want more. It usually doesn't go well if you have too much more. High calorie snacks will make you get fat. Well, it depends upon the calories you burn. Again, I'm not a dietitian nor a doctor.
Also depends on who draws you.
Yeah. Well, I guess Fyzz. No comment. I read your bio before it got broken, so I know how to ask.
I gotta figure out where my bio got broke.
The website, somewhere. Okay. so now to the thing. All right. The whole claim is you live in some hypersphere. Okay. What is it? Ginormous sphere where we got our 3 dimensions of space and a dimension of time. Okay. The claim is you got this little wacky thing here. The cutouts are there just so you can see inside.
Yeah, the donut.
Yes. This is the figure 8 not in donut form.
Infinite
AKA
donut.
torque.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, no, you technically should keep on going forever and everything. That's at least what we're kind of claiming. That's why we have the words eternal up there. So I mean,
By the way, there is such a thing as too many donuts too. I learned that you can only stuff so many donuts into your guts. So watch out.
That statement may play out in time as being very accurate.
Yeah, you probably don't want to try to eat an infinite number of donuts.
I mean, didn't Homer Simpson do that when he went to hell? The devil just kept feeding him more and more donuts, but he just like kept eating them, and then they got sick of him.
I think so. Yeah.
I forget how that episode played out, but I remember it was one of those things where Satan was getting mad. He's like, the stuff. Although I kind of always liked the devil from Futurama better because he was was the mechanical devil and he had silly things and he would do some musical numbers here and then get very angry and then be like, Bender. But to get to the whole thingy of this model is hypothetically, this thing should be turning. Hypothetically, things could go up it. And then they go around, and then they get launched down, really. And maybe you're kind of going through a particular, I don't know. Light is not supposed to move. It's basically supposed to have a maximum 90 degrees, so like a right angle.
I've seen this hentai.
Yeah, yes. So I won't get into deep of the claim. I'm just saying that, I don't know, maybe we just start, if we let there be light, if we started with photons, and they were get sucked in, would it basically like would neutrons come out or matter as
poop out? Yeah, okay. So you put in some of this shit. You're wondering what gets pooped out at the other end. Is this a theory about what's getting pooped out, or?
I mean, that's one way to look at it. You could say there's an input to it's eating one end and then singing the other, or I'm not sure I can unsee any of that now. And I just said neutrons, and we were conjecturing neutron pasta might be the tastiest thing in the universe.
Oh, so it eats the donut, the infinity donut eats some protons and poops out some spaghetti.
It might eat just about everything because, see, it actually cycles around. We're kind of in a cat-dog scenario here.
Okay, so it's eating the stars and the cats and the dogs of the people that live there.
I'm not going to be bold enough to necessarily say that we started with this and we got to that. This is what I think is going on. This is my best guess right now.
I told you it was a really bad idea to have me come in here.
No,
for
this is fine. No, I've been torturing you for so long with this, so at least we can get different multi. Oh yes.
There we go.
No comment.
I'm super suspicious. I'm very suspicious of that
I know,
infinity
I
donut.
know. So the claim is sometimes you'll see these things. It's like we got our big bang and it's spreading out. All I'm saying is, as it's doing the spreading out, what if?
Oh yeah, I've had that happen to me a few times, man. Especially after Taco Bell, man. Them nacho fries.
So you did a full inversion. Now I know Piper had the human Piper Pete at one point. We won't get into that. I love how that was still in a saved folder, but all the other pictures just mysteriously vanished.
Right? What the hell?
It's like, oh, we got all these things. Okay. The whole claim is let's do our standard cosmological model. All right.
I promise I won't interrupt with poop jokes for at least a minute ish.
That's probably accurate. All right, we get a big bang, cosmic kablooey, whatever you want. All right, things start coming out. You start having stars form. And those stars are forming galaxies. You got your different galaxies, and those galaxies will go into clusters and super clusters and stuff like that. And then it's going to turn to black holes, and there'll be really big black holes, and then those will get slipped up, and then you keep the thing going. And if it is an enclosed system, now again, one of the reasons why I actually even publicly kind of just went out with such a crazy thing was we go to our citations here. Yes, I actually have everything.
Oh my goodness.
Dennis Sharma. I think, where is it? The pictures are cited there. Yeah, no, I actually tried to do a real science project and everything, list all your sources and stuff. It's easier now with the internet. Where was that? I think, did I not cite Stephen Wolfram in here? Oh no, it was his yes, hold on. John Williamson told us about that. Vortex Spoil Picture, Able and Etiquette, Sun, NGC, those are just pictures, Hercules. Oh my god.
You cited Beetlejuice?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I just realized. Yeah, I think this was the astronomical picture of Beetlejuice, I think. And that might be the artist renditioning. Yes, it's literally just a blob. Yeah, it's like the yolk of an egg. Yeah, the yolk's on me. But ultimately, one of the reasons is the claim is basically, many people assume, you've ever heard the term the perpetual motion machine? You know, sometimes people think the little bird drinking is perpetual motion. It's not quite. The neat little.
It's a close example. That's easy to.
The people all right, you dunk the bird will keep going. It doesn't actually keep going, but it's a cool little trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Pizza pie and no, not your fries. Rick, don't get Fizz going on nacho fries.
Nacho fries.
When I first listened, I'm like, how did she get it to do it? How did the thing know her so well? I'm like, oh.
However, it chose to sing it that way. And that was just the best, so I picked that one.
Yeah. I mean, can confirm. But okay, so the whole claim is basically, if you were to have, I believe they call it a Cardano machine of the third type, because the first type is all right. You're just making energy up out of nowhere and stuff, and you're breaking some physics there. The second one, it's like, all right, you're getting no energy from there. And even Stephen Wolfram was like, when he was talking about, could you do something like this? And he's like, with matter, it's like, well, the problem with matter is you would need to be perfectly opaque. So basically, you need to be so no different fields or anything could actually get through it. And with normal matter being made of matter,
That's
you're
what's the
kind of
matter with matter. Yeah,
yes.
it's
The matter
there's
with
not
matter
enough.
is it's you probably can't do it because it's not perfectly opaque. However, then he immediately conjectures like, I reckon you could do that with a field configuration, and I'm like, Nani? What are you talking about? A field configuration? Like, this is what I've had in my head. Did you just give me some potential legitimacy for what I'm saying?
I was
Because
gonna say, is that acknowledgement? Holy crap!
no. I just
Well, not
asked. And
acknowledgement. You know what I mean?
no, this came from his paper that I magically didn't cite. Wow, I'm a terrible person. Talk
Yeah.
about him,
You
make all
should.
these videos, and then I don't even cite his paper. That's don't give me confidence. Where is this? Oh, where is this? Where do we live? Wolfram. That's going to lead to like a bajillion things.
That's the hope, Mark. Is that hopefully they start calling it what it is, cheese pie. I've actually seen one in the wild, but it said it was cheesecake pie. I was like, you're getting closer.
Okay, so here we go. It just required prompting Stephen Wolfram correctly. I don't know, maybe that's why I get along with LLMs.
Let's see. Memes asks, has anyone ever done further investigation into the paper that I wrote long ago with my friend Jan Ambjorn on the thermodynamics of the vacuum? Yeah, well, so that was in 1981, I think. It was when I was still a card-carrying particle physicist, sort of. Wrote a couple of papers called
he's old.
Vacuum, and there's one called mechanical, one called electrodynamic. And we promised a part 3, which was about gravitational properties of the vacuum. We never wrote part 3. We got many, many requests over the years for part 3. And I think I finally figured out a year or two ago what part 3 should talk about. But at the time, back in the beginning of the 1980s, was a time when gravitational properties of the vacuum were definitely things that were sort of emerging through studies of Hawking radiation, black holes, other kinds of things like that. It's only crazy people like me who've spent decades building tools and so on that it becomes even conceivable to actually do significant scientific work in a weekend. But in any case, if you ask what became of those papers, the most interesting thing that became of them, they were studying kind of what happens to a little piece of vacuum that's put in a box. And actually, a chap called Robert Forward pointed out quite a few years after we'd written those papers, said, you know what, the way that you've set this up, there's been as you change the shape of this box. By the way, the big effect is a thing called the Casimir effect, which is that if you have two big metal plates, and they're very close together, and it's all in the vacuum, there's a small force of attraction between those metal plates. The origin of that is that in quantum field theory, there are always vacuum fluctuations. There are always 0-point fluctuations of the field, for example, the electromagnetic field. There's always little electron-positron pairs that are coming up and disappearing in short amounts of time. There are always these fluctuations in the electromagnetic field. But it turns out between the plates.
Can I just point out that this is one of the reasons why I say Stephen Wolfram is like a modern day wizard. He's got the verbal and the somatic components with the hand waving and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he's getting to the point here.
The presence of those plates is cutting out certain low frequency, long wavelength fluctuations of the field. So there are fewer fluctuations of the field between the plates than there are outside the plates. And that's sort of why there's a force of attraction even in the vacuum between those plates, because sort of the vacuum isn't quite the same between the plates because you've cut out these low frequency modes by the fact that the plates are there. Well, that argument about, that sort of intuitive argument doesn't quite work, because if you have a metal box, so to speak, that's a whole three-dimensional box, actually the force of the Casimir effect goes to create a pressure outwards rather than a pressure inwards. People for a little while thought that maybe the Casimir effect could account for kind of a mechanical model of the electron, where the electron will be sort of held together by Casimir forces, even though electrostatic forces would tend to make it fall apart. But it doesn't work, because the intuitive argument I gave isn't quite right when you analyze the three-dimensional modes of the electromagnetic field, which is what Jan and I did back in 1981. And we kind of analyzed it for arbitrary shapes of boxes. And what Robert Forward then pointed out was if you take our results on these shapes of boxes, you kind of squidge them around, you will discover that there's a closed cycle, very much like Carnot's cycle, a closed cycle of action to this machine in the vacuum, so to speak. If you change the shape of this box in the vacuum, you can go through a closed cycle and extract energy from the vacuum. And so he wrote some papers. He was also a science fiction writer, and I think he put this in his science fiction books as well. But he wrote papers about kind of extracting energy from zero-point energy of the vacuum. And it even became, there were some studies of kind of spacecraft propulsion based on zero-point energy. I think the main main place where that's landed is in dialogue in various science fiction movies about sort of zero-point energy as a source of action of various kinds. But in any case, that was so
okay. I only heard that from Stephen Wolfram. At one point, that's a little bit more of a detailed answer. But long story short, he's like, I do this paper. Somebody eventually calls me up. They happen to be a physicist and a sci-fi writer. So I'm like, wait. What you're saying is the paper you wrote like 30-something years ago, like 40 years ago now, like is where the sci-fi concept of zero-point energy came into play. And basically, like, at least that paper, he's like, it made it into science fiction, not really science fact. And I'm like, wait, like, there's actually some place in the vacuum, like, that some field configuration like that should exist, was what that other dude basically said. I'm sure I have another clip somewhere that does it better. But
Well, actually, what I think is neat about your humans is if you imagine it and write it into science fiction, it seems indicative that eventually it'll become science fact or a version of it. You guys have technology that used to be fiction. Until it wasn't. And you guys are still doing a pretty good job of making lightsabers and other crap that you don't actually need. But I mean, you thought it up in sci-fi, so we want it. You even very, very, very slowly working on that food replicator. But it's gross, so I no longer want it.
No, it's the balance of, is it safe? Is it healthy? Is it tasty? You can get all three of those things, and that's fine. Other than that, it's like, I think there should be less murder in the world, but it's such tasty, tasty murder.
Right. What you got right now is, I mean, you guys, you can lab create pretty much any gemstone, and it'll be identical in makeup to ones you mine. It just, didn't come out of the ground.
It wasn't made by children. It wasn't like,
well, yeah, it wasn't dug out of the ground by little kids.
Usually.
And that similar concept, I think you guys can do a food replicator because you have come close with a food 3D printer where you put stuff in there and edible crap comes out that's supposed to taste like what it's supposed to taste like. These
like soft serve?
Yeah, so sort of like that. These two technologies being figured out separately tells me that as soon as you can break down the composition of each meal all the way down and then recreate that composition, which is pretty much how the food replicator works. It doesn't really 3D print it per se, but I think you guys can come up with a food 3D printer. Robots used to be sci-fi, and now, I mean, luckily they're not killing too many people. You didn't replicate those yet, so that's nice. But even your medical advances, a lot of your medical advances used to be science fiction. Technically, you've got some cyborg humans. If by cyborg you mean like a human with artificial working parts. You got cyborgs.
We've had presidents and stuff like that. Oh no! I think that president was part pig.
Yeah, and I didn't mean organic. I meant mechanical.
Oh yeah, no,
body
I
part.
know. I said words and I had to correct myself because I thought it was a mechanical valve, but I think it was like a pig valve or something like that.
They've got those,
but
but people do have mechanical ones
Mhm.
too.
That's why I got confused. And remember, Fizz, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah. Basically, if you guys can imagine it, but imagine a decent explanation for how. Like again, like the lightsabers. Okay, well, obviously they're not gonna work. You know, those crystals don't actually exist. They're not gonna quite work that way. But people are still making lightsabers. And they started out really clunky, and they're slimming down that science of how do you make this portable without this giant, like, having to haul around like this giant generator.
How do we make it portable? How can we make it battery powered and not have to plug it into, like, I don't know, like half the grid of Switzerland?
Yeah. You guys have actually, like, if you look it up, you guys, and it's just like, it's not even scientists anymore, because scientists are still like, okay, useful, you know? We imagined, this got imagined up, but this would actually be like life-saving, or this would be really useful, and it makes sense to be able to do when your science jargon, your sci-fi writers actually put in some research to make things plausible. That's the first step. That's kind of what separates it from fantasy, because then fantasy just says, magic.
When in doubt, a wizard did it. I learned that from the Simpsons Xena episode.
Right? Yeah, it's like, magic. Or, stuff that just doesn't exist on the planet, and there's no real way to replicate that with science and make it like the fantasy, because there wasn't enough explanation in the fantasy other than, I don't know, this book has magic letters in it. And it's like, well, it doesn't really give us much to work with. But
I don't know. Some girls were speaking some gibberish. They were making some hand gestures and everything, and then demons appeared. Obviously, they're witches.
Yeah, like, you would still have to break that down and find a science that would make that make sense. But so that's why people point to sci-fi and go, well, you imagined it up and made it sound plausible using what we do know right now. Of course, the older the sci-fi, the less they had to work with. Like, the more out there it probably seemed at the time with older sci-fi than it does now, because there was, less to go with. And it took longer too. It took longer to go from writing about going to space than it took to go to space. It took a little longer between writing about robots than it did to actually make robots. And
Andrew Will Robinson.
Right, especially like bipedal ones. That one was one that was like, oh man, there's no way. They can't balance like that. We're not even supposed to be able to walk like that, but we do. And it's bad for our backs. I heard that. I learned that. I don't know. So why the fuck do we do that?
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
What's bad?
That humans walking all the way upright is actually kind of weird, because it's really bad for our spines.
Oh.
So why we even started walking upright?
I think a basic posture is more like this, kind of like a wrestling stance and everything. So now you're like engaging your back and everything, whereas you go all the way like this, it's like, I don't know, is that a natural thing? Or I feel like we do a lot of sitting. As somebody that sits too much, it's like, yeah, I feel it's like balance. It's because within science, at least back when I learned whatever the scientific method was supposed to be in high school, it's like, all right, there's an infinite number of factors. You try to account for the most pressing ones as best you can, and then we do our experiments and everything. So that's why you're supposed to have your statistical error with the maths and stuff like that to see how far we might be up. And there's going to be experimental error, like every once in a while, like was a few years back. It's like, oh my God, those neutrinos run faster than the speed of light. Whoa, new physics. And then all of a sudden you find out it's like somebody didn't have a cord plugged in all the way or something. So there was some interference there, or it was something along those lines. It was like a literal, it was an error. It was an error. People make mistakes, and you try to do better from that and everything. So that's I feel like kind of where we're we're at. You try to account for things the best you can. So
Well, for humans,
Rick is saying something about humans
upright, better long
would be better
distance
for long
runners.
distance runners because of where you're positioned. Okay.
They were wondering why we started going from kind of the all fours kind of thing to the completely upright. Like, what would make that start? You know, if you go along with evolution, what made us start doing? Well, not us really, but you guys. But what made you start doing that?
I feel like that might be like an offspring type of thing because if
It was
you're unlike like a lot of other things that might just hold on, you kind of need to hold on to your kiddos. So
it was the dexterity. Yeah, it was the dexterity of the opposable thumbs, and the more you wanna like get fine motor movements with your hands, the less you can be walking on those hands because you need them.
Stuff.
It's also like your feet took a hit though, because your feet used to be a lot more useful, and then you started walking on them completely, and they became more.
Are you saying we could have had toe thumbs?
You could have had toe thumbs, but you stopped. You started using your hands to do cool stuff with tools and stuff. And so you needed them feet to take over all of your balancing. But yeah, there's still signs in the human skeleton and stuff, and a little bit in the human structure that walking completely upright isn't that great. Well, it's probably why you when you get old, you stop doing that.
All I know is when I would get far too little sleep and then go to the warehouse and everything, and if I was running around like a crazy person, if all of a sudden like I was blocked because a couple people are in the aisle and I needed to wait for like 30 to 60 seconds, I would literally just go into low power mode. It would be like
your battery's running out.
Literally just be like that, and then just rest within 30 to 60 seconds. All right, go. So, I mean, that's basically how I operated, but I would also make a lot of poor choices in life. So, I'm not saying that's just sample size 1.
I like that. It's really like you're legitimately running on low battery, like.
So it's also like leaning against something, because at that point, all right, now you only just need to worry about just like feet on ground versus standing, and then all right, we're balancing okay, it might seem like we're not moving, but other things appear to be moving and stuff like that. But there's a lot of mass. It's like, I don't know, 10 to the 26 kilograms on Earth or something like that, like some big number. So apparently to us, it's like, I'm sitting here, nothing is happening. It's like, well, there's a lot of sciencey things and stuff going on. Yeah, sciencey stuff and things. All right. Yeah, this may not have been the greatest idea to cross the streams, but we're here. So.
We just talked about science.
Oh.
This is still basically what we always do.
Yeah, basically. No, the whole gist is, all right, this is a very tiny thing. We're thinking it might literally be like, I don't know, what's that, around the size of a germ or something like that. This is basically the cinch in reality, our little knot in the fabric of space-time, if you would, or along the lines of, thank you, Fyzz. So that's an object, and then basically, if this thing is spitting out things, because like when you squeeze things down, like a lot of times, sometimes like coal is supposed to go to a diamond, but it starts getting heat because like the more pressure you have. So like you put a pot, let's say you have like a pot of water. All right, you put a top on it, that pressure is going to increase, so it will boil faster. So for an enclosed system, the whole claim is literally, yes, the soda bottle experiment from middle school.
Oh wow!
So basically, you like back in middle school, it's like, all right, you take a 2-liter soda bottle, you take a second 2-liter soda bottle, You screw them together. You fill one with water. You give it a little angular momentum, and it turns into a vortex. And then it
Yeah, you
goes
put some
down.
glitter in there so it looks cool.
Yeah, you do colors and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is basically the claim, and then I just happen to call it. Was it the one? Because what is the one? I don't know if that taught me about. It's like, what is this one? What is this XY plane that we live in? And you could just call it oscillatory network engine or whatever you want. And it also may mimetically line up with some old scripture, if you would. Again, I'm not a theologist or anything, but yeah, it may actually be what's powering our realm of stuff and things. Because what I'm thinking is, all right.
Does that
you
mean
got
that that stuff going in is rotating?
Yes,
Like
that's why
that?
we have this. That's why we have this arrow here, a little dotted line. The claim is there's probably some rotation going on here, or at least for this central thing. Because if that thing is spinning, maybe fast, maybe at I don't know, maybe the Planck frequency, which is a ginormous number of ticks per second, like 10 to the 43 ish.
I was gonna say, so the donut is rotating along its way it rotates. And then
That's
the tunnel is doing like a little tornado thing into it.
well. Imagine this like little tunnel thing. Just have it fill the entire dang thing. Because a lot of times people talk, they're like, space is flat. Why? Because they do that triangle thing where it's like you pick 3 points on the sky, and if it adds up to like 180 degrees, it's flat. But if you put a triangle on like a basketball or like a ginormous Jolly Rancher or something like that, or like take a Cadbury mini egg.
Ooh.
So you
Yeah,
take a
that
giant
triangle is
Cadbury.
still gonna be
Well,
bendy.
but it's going to be, I believe, less. No, more than 180 degrees because it gets fat because you're putting it on the top. But if things are ginormous, like because right now our observable universe is like 93 billion light years, whatever the heck that is. This is more like, think about like 20 something quadrillion light years, like 10 to the 34 meters as a radius. It's just the inverse of the Planck length. Because we're saying that there's a donut inversion here. There's
Yeah.
having an inversion of that form that gives a hyperspherical realm in which we live. And tasty snacks exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people will talk about like a Pringle. So like if you take a triangle, you just put it on a circle, it'll just be like, all right, it's this. But if it's a Pringle, depending on what side, it's going to have a different form of curvature, whereas you put it on like a basketball and stuff like that. Thank you, sir. All right. So basically, the whole claim is if this thing is spinning, if it's spitting out hot, dense, some might say like a quark gluon plasma, is that cool? So you're going to get all the stuff and things coming around, and this thing's going to, since that thing's spinning, you add a little angular momentum. So all the stuff coming out might be in uniform rotation. And if you sum all the massive stuff and things, I don't know. Is that going to explain why like inertia stuff and things happen? Why when we do accelerate, then we feel force, but otherwise we're just kind of chilling around? It doesn't really seem like there's much going on to observers like us, or at least meatbags like me.
That's also because gravity's all up in there.
Gravity is a very interesting thing. It's one of those forces, but people will say it's not a force, but force is defined by mass times acceleration. If you apply a force to something, it's going to do a thing.
Yeah.
You have the ability to accelerate mass, but gravity is it's the curvature of space-time. Is it the architecture of the arena? I'm sure there's a better term I've been told that I totally forgot right now. But basically, I don't know. Maybe it's just a very simple, stupid thing, but it's like, all right, if this is how things are, well, but if it's getting stuff in there, it's outputting stuff, well, that means things will like seem to be moving and stuff. It's almost like there would be a mysterious, dark, some may say, energy going throughout. Oh, and if where we live here is a lot older than 14 billion years, that's a lot of time for hot stuff to come out and cool and literally just be chilling around. So it's cool, dark matter that we're not going to see unless, I don't know, maybe we really look at it really hard. Kind of like black holes are dark matter and neutrinos. So like, and this is one of the headlines I got to do. I still got to do a video about it. But apparently they're reaching the point now where they're trying to detect dark matter. Perhaps it's axions, perhaps it's WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles. The search for dark matter is on. However, they're starting to get glimpses of the neutrino fog. What is that? Well, once you get to a certain magnitude, you're going to get blinded by neutrinos, which, while scientists are looking for dark matter, they are blocked by dark matter. Because neutrinos are a type of known dark matter, but it's not the dark matter we're looking for. I just find it ironic that in the search for dark matter, scientists are obstructed by dark matter.
Dark matter's getting in our way of
I'm
dark matter.
looking for dark matter, yeah. And then you sit back and I'm like, all right, maybe there is some fancy particle. Maybe this, again, I'm not a professionally trained cosmologist or physicist or something like that. But I'm like, all right, wouldn't the easier explanation be, well, if we've been around for a lot longer and things are a lot bigger, maybe there's just a lot more neutrinos than we think. And maybe between that and like old, cold planets and black holes or whatever you want to say, maybe there's just a lot more of that stuff around, like the stuff that we do know, and we're just not seeing it right now. I mean, it could just be a completely new thing that we have no idea, but I'm like, all right. So if we're older than 14 billion years, perhaps a great deal longer, that's a lot more time for matter that we know to come out, go around, do its thing, cool down, and we're not going to be able to see it because we're looking for bright, shiny things. Okay. And if things are getting recycled and we're just all swirling around, as more energy comes out, it's not going to come out at a completely even pace. You're going to have a period and rate is that way. It seems like things are just constantly expanding out just because we get the system going. And like when you put kind of like, I think I did a video where, they had the convection video. I think it's, where is it? Convection? I need to go over to, let's talk about your favorite snack.
I have to pick a favorite.
I know. Okay, never mind. You don't need to do it anymore. I found what I was looking for. I just literally yes. Does universe flow via
If I speed it up, the resemblance is even more striking. There's some interesting detail here that isn't really conveyed in the traditional diagrams that you get shown at school.
All I did was take this thing and flip it upside down to kind of show, and you'll see it a little bit
You
more.
get fast turbulent flow in a narrow channel in the center and a slow descent in wide channels either side.
The hot water reaches the top, and then it gets pushed toward the edges by more hot water rising from underneath it. As it goes out to the edges, it starts to get cool, and cool water sinks just as hot water rises. And if you watch really carefully, you can see it sink and get drawn back toward the middle. These are called convection currents, and you see them moving in two big ovals. They're one of the major things that drive ocean currents, especially in
I just looped the whole thing around. Yeah. So that's all. That's all it really is. It's a very, very simple. It's a kind of boring, but it's like, I like to refer to it as more of the best dang snow globe lava lamp ever.
Yeah. And then does that imply that there is an edge of the universe?
to be fair, if you were to keep on going, I think it's more like the game Asteroids. You can keep on going, but since there is curvature, at some point you're just going to get curved back around, and you're just going to keep going for like if you pick a direction. Aside from, I don't know, breaking the multiverse, it's a good thing that's not the show we're on right now. Is my Monastery Life that's been broken.
So to you, it would feel like you could go forward indefinitely,
You're just
but
gonna keep it. There's gonna be a
technically,
curving in a direction there. So it's like the game of Asteroids. You're just kind of like, you're probably just gonna keep on going around, or at least that's what's gonna seem like. Wise, I think that's the gravitational effective gravitational force on Earth. And then, all right. The sitter space has no boundary. Okay, so you're just gonna keep on going, Fyzz.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm trying to imagine this with multiple black holes and stuff. Like, I guess this is easy. This is easy to picture.
Should I bring the picture back up?
Yeah.
Okay. Oop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's easy to picture this happening, but I guess it's easy to picture this happening.
If we made a yeah.
I was gonna say if I remember what happens on the other end of a black hole, because it's a hole.
Is it?
Well, like that's what they're calling it. That's what messes me up. Is like
should it be called a mass hole? Because black holes aren't actually black; they're technically invisible.
It still labels them. NASA still labels them and takes pictures.
Yeah, but it's got mass. That's at least one characteristic. I mean, I'm very biased. I'm a mass hole born and raised, and it seems like a very trolly thing to do, which is why I'm also quite fond of it. And if it's more accurate, then if you got the truth on your side, that's the ultimate defense, whether or not it ends up being what people do. But
oh, I think I remember what messed me up. There used to be a theory that black holes were technically black tunnels and that it poops stuff out on the other side of them. But
wormholes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to be a hole, you can have a bottom, because if you didn't have a bottom, you'd be a tunnel. Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of like a little warpy warm thing, maybe like that.
Yeah.
Because at least I'm claiming at least that exists. That might not be the wormholes that people are looking for, kind of like dark matter. It's like, this is not the stuff you're looking for. I mean, it may fall within the category of the stuff you're looking for, but I mean, if you're like, oh, but that's not what I wanted.
Here's the question. How long do you think humanity will take to figure out warp speed so that they can fly anywhere?
That's making the assumption that we could do that. I don't know.
I'm just gonna tell y'all you should definitely start working on that. Just so you know, you're gonna want to get GTFO.
Oh, because of the implied implications that at some point we're going to get torn to absolute smithereens because this is 10 to the negative 8 meters. The vortex throat is 10 to the negative 18 meters. So it's about the charge radius of a proton. Yeah. I wouldn't fit very well going through that. So hopefully we don't necessarily need warp time. We just need I don't know, hopefully go faster than, I don't know, is it about 70 meters per megaparsec or something like that? As long as we can do that, maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we're just destined to be screwed.
You guys just really need to work on space travel and interplanetary, intergalaxy, because it does take y'all quite a bit to get where you are right now. You probably have time if you start working on it now. And but you're gonna want to get farther away from the that part, which means you guys are gonna want to move.
The one infernal donut of potential destruction.
Yep. I mean, also stars have lifespans, so you're gonna wanna move anyways. So
See, we have that in Massachusetts. I mean, we have beautiful houses that are on cliffs, and then the water. You just watch over the years. It's like beautiful house, wash away, wash away. Oh, there goes the house.
yeah, those are definitely temporary. They got a lot of time. Water takes a little bit to erode, but
I don't know. On the Massachusetts coast, it seems to be happening really fast. It's like
actually,
I
that's
remember I'd
true. If
hear
you're
about
on a
that.
cliff on a
It's to be
coast,
happening more.
that's
So,
getting beaten on by waves. Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, I would say maybe we kind of get Earth in order. We kind of get like our basic stuff and things in order, and then before we go around and f with the rest of the cosmos and stuff, at least have like a decent base here.
Yeah,
And then
I don't want to tell y'all that you guys kind of suck at getting Earth in order. So you'll probably fuck up the other planets too, but you're still gonna want to go fuck up some other planets before your sun
we
turns into a
ruin
big
Mother
red.
Earth more.
Because honestly,
Yeah.
Earth isn't gonna exist after the sun turns into a big red. It's gonna get in there. There's multiple reasons why that would suck. And your son, you know what? The sun here is, it's getting on in years, man. It's pretty old. It's throwing fits a lot more too. Just
Maybe we're just noticing them more and everything. It's
very
making pretty
grumpy.
lights. I'm sure it will go up by multiple orders of magnitude and fry all the electronics on the planet. I mean, that would be terrible. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that
you
would
want to
be
go before that
terrible.
happens. That's for sure, man. So yeah, honestly, getting into that part of the tube isn't even your biggest worry, guys.
We probably have-
outliving your galaxy is gonna happen before that. Like, assuming you guys, don't have a mass extinction event. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. It's not like there's multiple ways that can happen, especially if we do it ourselves.
Yeah, y'all seem to be working more harder on that than
I know. It's amazing the
GTFO.
amount of time and effort we spend trying to destroy other humans. You sit back and you're like, what if we took half that time and effort and we applied it to figuring things out? Like,
yeah,
I feel like we would be a little bit more further along in being able to explore the cosmos, and I don't know, maybe actually have like a next generation cool type of thing going on here. Because God, imagine that. Imagine if like the Star Trek Prime Directive. It's like, no, we do not mess with primitive societies until they've got warp engines. Because at that point, they're going to become our problem one way or another. So we'll at least reach out. Now,
yeah, maybe that's already going on, and everybody's just like, man, these humans are slow.
Earth, oh my God, if you looked at Earth right now and you looked at all the BS going on, it's like, oh my God, are we the Jersey Shore of the Milky Way?
Yes.
Cannot confirm, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, I basically.
I'm looking at you, chat. Apparently.
Yeah. Yes, the eyes. Yeah, like you're saying, C is the speed limit. Well, then we better get to getting our own little house in order. Then,
oh, there we
shall
go.
we?
My face is back.
So, all right, we've gone for our obligatory amount of time for stuff. So, Fyzz, you got some Yakuza and stuff tonight?
Yep. I'm working on my cabaret club. I gave presents to all my hoes. So now I have a lot of hoes.
What? Your hosts?
No, hoes.
Fyzz, no, they're your Cabernet dancers.
They don't dance though. I tried dancing with one. She sucked at it. Okay, to be fair, it was technically me that sucked at it because it was at a disco and I was supposed to hit buttons the right way and I didn't. But
Wow, we've learned a lot today. Oh God, that was the wrong thing. I just linked to the song rather than to Fizz. Oops. Fizz's other account. There we go. All right. So,
Which song was that?
Stuff and Things.
For a second, I thought you were on the toilet until I saw that math in the background. But honestly,
no.
but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't write on the bathroom wall. Well,
you never know. We try not to. So, with that being said, Fizz, do you have any final words for the folks?
Get you guys some bitches.
Well,
got 8.
healthy. So,
Looks like perhaps we were going about it wrong and needed both the hooves and the mouth.
All right. No wolf girls were hurt in the making of this broadcast.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys. You guys. I just want to hug some